Are you completely frustrated with tossing, turning, and trying literally every traditional sleep aid out there, only to wake up feeling totally exhausted anyway? Well, welcome to today's explainer. I am thrilled you're here, because we're looking at this fascinating, all-natural 3-minute nighttime routine that promises to completely reset your autonomic nervous system. Seriously, forget everything you thought you knew about getting to sleep. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So, if you're struggling with insomnia, chances are you've tried all the classic remedies. You've probably reached for a sleeping pill or maybe tried that age-old advice of drinking a warm glass of hot milk right before bed. But what if I told you these super common fixes might actually be the very things keeping your nervous system awake? No way, right? It sounds totally counterintuitive. But let's look at the biology behind why these popular solutions often backfire and just trap us in this vicious cycle of bad sleep.
When we actually look at the biology, taking sleeping pills doesn't restore your natural sleep rhythm at all. It's basically a forced shutdown. It's like yanking the power cord out of the wall instead of shutting down your computer properly. You're effectively knocking the brain out without actually letting it rest. And that hot milk? Well, when you consume warm liquids, you activate your digestive system. That pulls all this active blood flow directly to your stomach and intestines. Your internal organs are down there working incredibly hard to digest, which means your brain up top simply cannot enter a state of true, deep rest.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the sleep remedy myth.
See, the real root cause of your sleeplessness isn't a lack of medication, and it's certainly not a lack of warm milk in your stomach. The actual culprit is an overactive sympathetic nervous system. Think of your brain right now like a massively overheated car engine. If your engine is overheating, pouring cool water directly on it or forcing it to stall, well, that's not going to fix the underlying mechanical issue, is it? When your brain is all tense and rigid from the stress of the day, forced chemical shutdowns won't allow the core of your brain to truly relax. To turn off this engine properly, you got to find the power switch. And according to the source material we're analyzing today, that power switch isn't located anywhere near your head. Nope, we got to look downward. The master power switch to turn off your overactive brain is actually located on the bottom of your foot.
Which brings us nicely to part 2, the foot-brain connection.
So you're probably wondering, how exactly do we turn off the brain from the bottom of the foot? Well, the secret lies in directly accessing the nervous system. By stimulating very specific points on the foot, we can send a direct signal straight up the nervous system telling the brain, hey, it's okay, you can rest now. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your body responsible for rest, digestion, and deep relaxation. And guys, it's not magic, it's reflexology. The whole concept is that there are specific zones on the foot that directly correspond to your organs and bodily systems. This is a biological reality. It was discovered over 5,000 years of Eastern medicine, and it's actually beautifully confirmed by modern anatomy today. Your feet are basically packed with nerve endings that act as these direct communication lines to your brain and your internal organs.
And if you're wondering about the authority behind this specific methodology, it comes from Kimura, a practitioner with over 40 years of experience. This exact 3-minute methodology is backed by over 5,000 clinical treatment cases. He's observed firsthand that treating the foot with this specific protocol can essentially force quit the autonomic nervous system's active state, allowing patients to practically swoon into a deep, heavy sleep.
Moving right along to Section 3, the 3 golden rules.
Okay, before we jump into the physical routine, you absolutely must follow these rules of engagement. Doing this incorrectly won't just be ineffective, it'll actually ruin the effect and keep you wide awake. Rule number 1, never press hard. You just want to gently trace the surface of the skin. Rule number 2, sync your movements with your breath. As you inhale, place your finger down. As you exhale, gently trace. This breathing sync is absolutely crucial for maximizing that parasympathetic nervous system. And rule number 3, always treat both feet, but you've got to start with the left foot first. Why the left? Well, the left foot is closer to the heart, and starting there promotes smooth, really efficient blood flow circulation throughout your entire body. Actually, I want to pause on this for a second, because it's a massive misconception. We all know that old massage myth of no pain, no gain, right? Well, throw that completely out the window tonight. If you press hard and feel pain, that pain signal travels straight to your brain and causes excitement. It triggers your fight or flight response, which is literally the exact opposite of what an insomniac needs. The Kimura method insists on gentle, slow tracing. Remember, we're trying to whisper to the brain that it's time to sleep, not shout at it.
All right, here we go. Section 4, the 3-step routine.
Here's the exact 3-minute physical routine you can do in bed tonight. Whether you're sitting up or lying down, you can easily follow along with these steps to coax your body into a deep, uninterrupted sleep. The process is elegantly simple, and it targets 3 specific zones. First, we start at the big toe, which connects to the cerebrum. That's the main part of your brain. Second, we move down to the center of the foot, connecting to the solar plexus. And finally, we finish up at the inner heel, which connects to your bladder. Boom, boom, boom.
Let's break down exactly what these touch points are doing internally. By tracing the back of the big toe, we target the cerebrum to calm all those racing, stressful thoughts. By circling the center of the foot, we hit the solar plexus, and this naturally warms the body and slows your breathing right down. And by tracing the inner heel, we target the bladder, which actually prevents those incredibly annoying middle-of-the-night awakenings. It's basically a complete, full-system shutdown protocol. Let's look at step 1 in a bit more detail.
So step 1 is all about calming the smartphone brain. All day long, you're processing information, you're stressing out, and let's be real, you're probably staring at a screen right up until bed. This leaves the cerebrum completely overstimulated. The reflex zone for the cerebrum is the pad of your big toe. Using your finger, just gently trace the entire pad of your left big toe 10 times. Remember to breathe and keep it super gentle. Once you've done 10 traces on the left, switch over and do 10 traces on the right big toe. This clears out all that built-up mental tension from the day.
Now let's move to step 2 and see how we build on that relaxation. We're targeting the solar plexus here to physically relax the body. This zone is right in the center of the foot, just below the mound where it kind of dips in. You're going to draw wide, gentle circles in this area 10 times on the left foot and then 10 times on the right. This specific motion unwinds the solar plexus nerve bundle. And get this, as you do this, you'll actually start to notice your body physically warming up and your breathing naturally becoming so much slower and deeper. It feels amazing. And finally, step 3, the sleep safeguard. Honestly, there is absolutely nothing worse than finally falling into a deep sleep, only to wake up at 3 a.m. because you have to use the bathroom, right? To prevent this, we target the bladder reflex zone. This is located slightly on the inner side of your heel. You just gently trace this area 10 times on the left foot, then 10 times on the right. This simple stimulation maximizes your bladder's capacity to hold urine, ensuring your deep sleep goes completely uninterrupted until the morning. It's a real game changer.
And that's it. That's the entire routine. As the source material emphasizes, just 3 minutes a night can reset your autonomic nervous system. If you make this your new nightly routine right when you get into bed, the data shows that within just one single week of practice, you're going to see a dramatic change in your sleep quality. Plus, you'll experience a totally different level of energy when you wake up in the morning. I mean, it's incredibly minimal effort for a massive, massive biological reward.
So, the choice is totally yours. Are you going to spend tonight tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling and just hoping for sleep to magically arrive? Or are you going to ditch the pills, skip the hot milk, and simply take 3 little minutes to trace your toes? Give this simple reflexology technique a try tonight because the science strongly suggests your brain and your energy levels tomorrow will truly thank you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to a great night's sleep.